Typhoon Dot has jumped across Luzon. At 7 a.m. it was centered about 110 nautical miles northwest of Manila and is forecast to move west at about 11 knots across the South China Sea. The forecast for today, moderate northerly winds. It'll be fine, become dry during the day, a maximum temperature of about 28 degrees. At 8 o'clock at the Royal Observatory, the air temperature was 24 degrees Celsius and the relative humidity 81%. Fire danger warning is now yellow and the fire risk is high. At 7 a.m. the centre of Dot was near 15.6 degrees north, 119.4 degrees east.
With information on Typhoon Dot. At 10 o'clock, Typhoon Dot was centered about 150 nautical miles west-northwest of Manila, and it's forecast to move west at about 11 knots across the South China Sea. The anticyclone over China is maintaining the northeast monsoon over the northern part of the South China Sea. At 10 o'clock, the center of Dot was near 15.7 degrees north, 118.6 degrees east. That's the bulletin. The forecast for this afternoon and this evening, moderate northerly winds. It'll be sunny and dry in the afternoon, continuing fine this evening. Latest readings taken at 10 o'clock at the Royal Observatory when the air temperature was 25 degrees Celsius and the relative humidity stood at 74%.
The weather information. I'll be reading the weather information for South China coastal waters following the afternoon news at approximately 1:15. The weather bulletin with information on Typhoon Dot. At noon, Typhoon Dot was centered about 340 nautical miles east of Xisha and is forecast to move west at about 11 knots across the South China Sea. An anticyclone over China is maintaining the northeast monsoon over the northern part of the South China Sea. The forecast for this afternoon and tonight is for moderate northerly winds. It'll be sunny and dry in the afternoon, becoming cloudy tonight. And at noon at the Royal Observatory, the air temperature was 27 degrees Celsius and the relative humidity stood at 66%. The fire danger warning for today is yellow and the fire risk is high. Weather information for South China coastal waters. Warning, gale force winds in Nanao Swabui, south of Hong Kong and St. John's. Strong winds in Hong Kong. The weather situation. At noon, Typhoon Dot was centered near 15.9 degrees north, 118.2 degrees east. That's 15.9 degrees north, 118.2 degrees east. And is forecast to move west at about 11 knots across the South China Sea. The anticyclone over China is maintaining the northeast monsoon over the northern part of the South China Sea. The area forecast for the next 24 hours, Hong Kong, north 3 to 4, becoming east 5 to 6 tomorrow. Scattered showers tomorrow, slight to moderate seas becoming moderate to rough. Nanao and Swabui, northeast 5 to 6, becoming 6 to 7, occasionally 8 in the south. Scattered squally showers tomorrow, rough seas becoming rough to very rough. South of Hong Kong and St. John's, northeast 5 to 6, becoming east 7 to 8 tomorrow. Scattered squally showers tomorrow, rough seas becoming very rough. The outlook for the following 24 hours, winds moderating in the east.
Thank you very much. Moving on to weather, and at 4 o'clock, Typhoon Dot was centered about 330 nautical miles east of Xisha and is forecast to move west at about 11 knots across the South China Sea. The anticyclone over China is maintaining the northeast monsoon over the northern part of the South China Sea. Forecast for Hong Kong for tonight and tomorrow. Moderate northeasterly winds becoming fresh easterlies tomorrow afternoon. Fine at first, becoming cloudy later. Minimum temperature tonight should be about 23 degrees. The high tomorrow, 26 degrees. At 4 o'clock at the Royal Observatory, air temperature 26 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 73%. The fire danger warning for today is yellow, and that means that the fire risk is high.
At 4 this afternoon, first of all, the South China coastal waters weather information. 4 this afternoon, Typhoon Dot was centered near 15.9 degrees north, 118 degrees east, and is forecast to move west at about 11 knots across the South China Sea. The anticyclone over China is maintaining the northeast monsoon over the northern part of the South China Sea.
東約320海里，預料向西北偏西移動，時速約8海里，橫過南中國海。 籠罩中國嘅反氣旋正維持南中國海北部吹東北季候風。今晚及明日天氣預測，吹和緩東北風，聽日下晝轉吹清勁東風，初時天色晴朗，稍後轉為多雲。今晚最低氣溫23度，聽日最高約為26度。火災危險警告係黃色，表示火災危險性頗高。而家室外氣溫25度，濕度76%。
Bulletin and information on Typhoon Dot. At 1 a.m., Typhoon Dot was centered about 260 nautical miles east of Jishar and is forecast to move west-northwest at about 10 knots across the South China Sea. The anticyclone over China is maintaining the northeast monsoon over South China and the coastal waters. On to the weather forecast for today. We can expect moderate northeasterly winds. They'll be fresh offshore, becoming fresh easterly later today. It'll be fine in the morning, becoming cloudy a little later on today, and the maximum temperature we can expect will be about 26 degrees. The fire danger warning is now yellow, which means that the fire risk is high, and at 2 a.m. in the Royal Observatory the air temperature was 24 degrees Celsius and the humidity 76%.
At 6, Typhoon Dot was centered about 210 nautical miles east of Jishar and is forecast to move west-northwest at about 10 knots across the South China Sea in the general direction towards Hainan Island. Fresh to strong northeast monsoon persists over the South China coastal waters. The forecast for today: moderate northeasterly winds, fresh offshore, becoming fresh easterly later. Sunny periods in the morning. Showers are expected to develop in the afternoon. Temperatures will be about 26 degrees. At the moment the reading is 23 and the humidity is 70%. The fire danger warning for today is yellow. The fire risk is high.
At 7 o'clock, Typhoon Dot was centered about 200 nautical miles east of Jishar, and it's forecast to move west-northwest at about 10 knots across the South China Sea towards Hainan Island. And a fresh to strong northeast monsoon persists over the South China coastal waters. At 7 o'clock this morning, the center of Typhoon Dot was near 16.6 degrees north, 115.7 degrees east. That's the bulletin. The forecast for today: we can expect moderate northeasterly winds, fresh offshore, becoming fresh easterly later today. There'll be sunny periods in the morning, but showers are expected to develop in the afternoon. And the maximum temperature today will be around 26 degrees. At 7 o'clock at the Royal Observatory, the air temperature was 23 degrees Celsius, and the relative humidity 74%.
首先係風暴消息，本港天文台已經喺9點50分掛起1號戒備信號，1號戒備信號已經喺9點50分掛起。預測今日吹和緩嘅東北風，離岸地區風勢清勁，較後轉為清勁東風，多雲，係有零散驟雨，最高氣溫約莫係26度，而家錄到嘅氣溫係22.3度，相對濕度係81%。
Forecast for this afternoon and evening: fresh, gusty northeasterly winds, strong at times offshore. It's going to be cloudy with scattered showers. At 10 a.m. at the Royal Observatory, the air temperature 21 degrees Celsius and the relative humidity 82%. The tropical cyclone alert is now in effect, and the standby signal number 1 was hoisted at 9:50. This means that a tropical cyclone now centered within 400 nautical miles of Hong Kong may affect us. During the last few hours, Typhoon Dot has moved on a more northwesterly track and begun to pose a threat to Hong Kong. At 9 a.m., Typhoon Dot was centered about 320 nautical miles south of Hong Kong and is forecast to move west, northwest or northwest at 10 knots across the northern part of the South China Sea. Present indications are that it'll move to a position which will give rise to strong winds in Hong Kong tonight. At 9 a.m., the center of Typhoon Dot was near 17.1 degrees north and 115.2 degrees east.